Hey, happy Monday. Happy Monday, ladies. I am excited because it's Monday and I feel fantastic. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, the small kiddos going back to school, sleep is back on track. And there's nothing that can replace the power of how you feel so great when you get good sleep. Am I right? Put agree in the comments if you agree. I also love Mondays. I feel fantastic on Mondays from getting extra sleep. On Sundays, my one day to not have an alarm and all the beautiful things. Plus, I'm also excited because we have some new faces in here and I'm so excited to have all of y'all in here. Welcome those of y'all that just wrapped up the 14-day challenge and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go all in and keep going with our 6-week accelerator program. So welcome to all the new faces that have joined this community. Stay plugged in, all of y'all stay plugged in. Do some really awesome things in here and just bring just more and more culture, more and more community and all the beautiful things that we love to do inside of this group. So say hi as you're hopping on live. Let me know that you're here. If you do catch this on replay, drop replay. I always want to know whenever you did come by so that I can see that you stopped by. We're going to talk today about protecting our energy because we're so good. We get really good at creating energy, and I'm going to talk a little bit of what I mean by that in just a second. I'm trying to pull it up so I can see y'all's comments. I don't know, my internet is acting crazy and I can't see myself. There I am. Okay, finally. Hey Audrey, hey Suzanne, it was acting weird. Okay, there I am. Good morning, Gala. So glad you're here as well too. Love it. Yes, you guys say hi if you're here. Replay if you're catching on replay. And put this on your schedule every single Monday or 10 a.m. Central, whatever time zone you're in. I'll let you do the math. 11 o'clock if that's Eastern. If you're Eastern, I know Suzanne's Eastern. Quite a few of you guys are Eastern. 9 o'clock if you're in the Mountain Standard Time and so forth. I'll stop there because I might mess up time zones. Every Monday, but give yourself permission. If you can't be live, do not stress it out. Don't miss it all together. Come back and watch a replay. Whatever works best for you. But just put it on your calendar so you know that it's here because mindset is everything. Put that in the comments. Mindset is everything. So many new faces in here. So I really want to hone in on how incredibly important. I don't talk a lot about, hey, come sign up for our mindset program because nobody wants to sign up for mindset. We want the nutrition. We want the fitness. We want the coaching side of it. Well, we want the weight loss. We want the results. And you know I'm right. But mindset is such a huge piece of it if you want to actually get through and stop restarting every other week or every other month, right? And so some of the ladies in this community already know that because they're on the mindset journey with us. We encourage you to commit to the mindset piece of this, not just the macros and not just the workouts, because those two things are crucial and very important, but they are not the end all be all. They will not take you where you want to be if you're not working on your mindset along the way as well too. The mindset of being okay that the scale may not move as fast as you want it to. The mindset when the scale starts to maybe creep up just a little bit. The mindset that it's going to take for you to stop saying yes to everybody else and no to you again and again and again, right? That mindset to trust the process and the season that you're in, because some of us are in seasons where we need to be okay with the scale just is what it is, and then we need to heal first. And some of you, that's you. Some of y'all need the mindset for all the different things. You need to forgive yourself for falling off and gaining weight and letting yourself go for so many years. You got to forgive yourself in order to move forward. We just talked about that a couple weeks ago in another mindset training. I'm not going to get into that topic today. But what I do want to talk about is creating energy. How do we create energy? But more importantly, how do we protect our energy? Ladies, you're in this group because you wanted help with nutrition. You're learning macros. You're learning how to fit you in. You're learning how to eat cleaner. You're learning how to have balanced nutrition with macros into your lifestyle while you don't miss out on life. Okay? We want macros and nutrition to be balanced and fit into our lifestyle. I'm going to say it again, but we don't want to miss out on life. You've got to go on the vacations. You've got to have the date nights. You've got to do the things that you have told yourself for years that you couldn't have. But my phone on do not disturb. People keep calling me. So if I freeze, you may not even see it. You'll know why. But we create the energy in a couple different ways, right? a lot of us don't realize how incredibly important it is. If you're tired, you've got to push through moving your body more than anything. Why? Because we create energy within ourselves in a natural way by moving our body. And that can really just look like walks at first. Some of you, that's where you start. The workouts that you do, you may not want to do them. There's going to be many days where you wake up and you're like, I don't want to freaking do it. I'm so tired. You need to push yourself extra hard on those days because you create energy by working out. We create energy by moving our body, right? And so on the days that you tell yourself, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I really don't want to move, those are the days you need to have that pep talk with yourself. And you remember why you're here in the first place. I got to go create some energy. I'm tired, which means that I need it more than ever so that I can create natural energy. We don't want to always be just going for the next product that we take, right? And believe me, a lot of us take the same products. Some of you all take different things, but I love our products for energy. I do. But I can't rely on that forever, right? And I can't rely on that for the only source of energy. What can we control? It's how we move our body to create energy, right? We know that. Right? So energy is something that we create through movement, through strength training, but it's also created through our food. Y'all, if y'all been in my community for a while, you've probably heard me talk about how I always love to shift your mindset into looking at your food more as your instructions on how you're going to feel and function each day. It's not food is not just about changing my body appearance, changing how I look like on the outside, helping me lose some weight. Your food is also creating energy or taking it away. We can all probably relate to moments in our life where we made a bad choice on food and like our energy just tanked. That's me with like sugar, especially. If I have sugar, I don't do a lot of sugar. I'm not a big sugar person, but if I do, I tank. I crash. I want to go take a nap. Some of y'all, it might be something else, right? But our food is our instructions. So put the word instructions in the comments just so I know that you're listening. Our food is another way that we create energy in our body. And so I want you to think about it. The next time that you find yourself really tired, ask yourself, number one, how much water have I drank today? Because you guys, if you're struggling drinking your water, you might just be a little dehydrated. You guys, dehydration causes fatigue. If you're not hydrating yourself with enough water, you very likely could be tired. So a lot of times, instead of like, man, I'm so tired, I'm going to run for the next cup, or I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. Y'all, I'm guilty of this too, so believe me. I did it way too much over the summer. I recognize that within myself. Instead of asking, what can I go fix? Can I go drink my second or third rush for the day? No, please don't do that. If anybody's doing that, please don't do that. I've heard that, but don't do it. Ask yourself, how hydrated am I? What have I eaten lately? Have I allowed myself to go way too long without food? So the next time that you're tired, ask yourself those things first before you reach for the caffeinated beverage or whatever it is that you do, right? Because sometimes it's the simplest of things. And our food is where we get a huge piece of our energy. Our food is our instructions. So, it's crucial. I love it. Thank you, Amber, for putting it in there. Yes, Suzanne, movement is key. Food is fuel. 1,000% yes. All of the above. So we create the energy, the more consistent will also start to show up. If we focus on what we can control, create the energy we can, we're going to show up more consistent, which leads to what? Get more results and better things, right? Fuel under eating is it's the biggest pandemic. I'm going to call our own pandemic, right? Not just ladies in here. Obviously, some of y'all are still under eating. We're working really hard to increase. Some of you, it's still a battle up here. And again, this is why mindset is key. Some of y'all used to be scared of carbs, used to be scared of eating more, and you have conquered that fear and you're freaking doing it and you feel fantastic. You're getting results, all the beautiful things, right? Balanced nutrition is really one of the best forms of, I call it medicine. Your food can truly be your best medicine to give you more energy, right? We know this. We don't think about it though. We often think about all the other things. But here's the other piece that I want to talk about today, okay? We know how to create energy. We got to move our body. We got to fuel our body. Food and movement, food and movement, food and movement, right? And good quality supplements. Don't get me wrong, because I love that part too. But now we have to protect our energy, okay? Some of us start our day with so much energy and feeling fantastic, but we're completely drained by the end of the day. And it's not necessarily because we're making bad choices in food or movement at that point. A lot of times it's more the emotional side. Now at this point, we're not protecting what we worked so incredibly hard to create. Food and fitness will create the energy. Now we have to protect it by what? Setting boundaries. What do I mean by that is you got to protect your energy, but also your peace. I don't know how many of y'all listen to Trent Shelton. I love Trent Shelton. He talks about protecting your peace all the freaking time because it's so incredibly important. Some of us are working so hard, and then by the half point of the day, we've let our boundaries down and we've said yes to too many things. We have tried to do too many things. We have let everybody's emergencies take over, and now we're emotionally drained. And now, by the end of the day, we have nothing left to give anybody. Our cortisol is spiked incredibly high. We're all out of whack mentally. And we may have done phenomenal on macros all day and got our workout in, but we're not protecting our energy and protecting our peace. There's toxic things, there's toxic people, there's toxic scrollville that we get stuck in that literally will drain our energy just like that. If you agree, put agree in the comments. We've got to have boundaries in place as well too, because you got to protect your energy with peace. Or excuse me, I can't even talk. Protect your energy and your peace by setting those boundaries. Not every yes is going to serve you. How many of y'all put the word no in the comments if you struggle saying no? And if you struggle saying no, I used to struggle really bad saying no. I used to say yes to anybody and everything. And then I would go home and stress about it and think, how am I going to do that? Oh my gosh. But I can't go back now because I already said yes. I don't do that anymore. I don't answer right away. Anybody. I mean, I answer y'all right away. But I mean, if somebody's asking me to do something or do a favor, or like the gym that I take on clients now. I do some clients throughout the week, a couple days a week now. And they asked me forever. And I said no forever. I had zero guilt about it. And then I prayed about it. I thought, you know what, God, maybe there's some people that really do need me. So I am taking on a couple clients in person. Just came back from training a really sweet lady that actually used to help my son with speech. And, it was definitely, I said no forever because it didn't serve me at the time. A yes then would not have served me. A yes now there serves me. But I waited on my terms when I was ready. But you have to learn what you need to say no to. And that is the end of the sentence. No, period. Nobody is needed an explanation of why no in y'all's world, right? Practice saying no. I joke about this and I share this once in a while and I kind of forget about it. But when I had a hard time saying no, my husband would a little bit of frustration in his voice, but he would also like, would you please just go to the mirror and practice saying no? Because he would see me say yes to everything, whether it's someone at church needed help or serving in this department, or as back then I was trying to do Bible small groups and all kinds of stuff. And then I was trying to tackle teaching group fitness at the time and my network marketing business. And I really wanted to get my coaching business off the ground. And I had 2 small kids and diapers and all the things that he saw me just stressed out, worn out mess. And I was bleeding out on him more importantly than anybody else because I didn't know how to freaking say no. And that's what led me to my rock bottom place that led me to also launching the coaching business that you guys are all a part of now back in 2020. But saying no to what drains you is saying yes to you and your health and your goals and your future and you becoming that better version of you that you desire so incredibly hard to be, that is going to bleed out positivity on your family and the loved ones. Right now, if you keep saying no to you, and yes to everybody else and everything, you're just a worn out, stressed out ball of mess that nobody can help because you're not helping yourself by saying yes to everything. So if this is resonating with you, one of the number one most important boundaries that you can do for yourself is to learn how to say no. Learn to say no, period, dot, there's nothing, no explanation. I even catch myself now. I literally did this the other day. I said no to someone about a trip. And then I started typing out an explanation of why I'm saying no. And then I deleted it. And I said, I don't owe this person an explanation of why. Just the answer is no. No, I can't go. Boom, done. I don't need to explain myself. It is my business, not theirs, right? That yes would not have served me. And so it's important for you. So if you struggle with this very thing, my challenge to you this week is to think. Think about, where is there somewhere in your life or something that somebody keeps bugging you about or asking you to do that you know you need to say no, but you're having a hard time saying no. And tell us what that is. Come in here and make a post and say, my commitment this week is to say no to fill in the blank. You fill in the blank. And just focus on one thing at first. Don't focus on everything. A lot of times it's easier to say no to people that are not your family than it is to say no to your family at the beginning. But eventually you'll build up to where you set a little bit more boundaries in your family too. You got to get good at setting up boundaries in other places. And then there's family members that you need to set boundaries with too. We all know this. Sometimes it's our kids. Sometimes it's our spouse. Sometimes you need to set a boundary that includes mama being first. Just had this conversation with the beautiful lady that I trained this morning. She's an entrepreneur now and obviously a mom that has spent years and years and years and years and years taking care of everybody else. And she said, now this is my freaking time now. I'm setting a boundary. I'm putting me first. I'm putting myself on a routine. And that includes me in the mornings a few days a week and going from there. So protect your peace and your energy with boundaries. Don't let people in that don't deserve your time and the energy. Okay, again, there's a conversation I had with someone yesterday that is in my organization in a business. We were talking about certain conversations that we feel like we've had again and again and again. And I was like, why are we continue to have this conversation? We know what to do. We need to stop dwelling on trying to force people to do things they don't want to do. You can't help people that don't want your help, right? All of these things, right? And, but I will tell you, I learned the hard way. Some of y'all, this might resonate with. This is what I told this certain friend of mine that was getting really incredibly frustrated because this person was trying to help the other person, but the other person doesn't want the help. And I told him, and I said, stop trying to help this person. They don't want your help. And I'm not trying to be mean, but at the same time, you're frustrated and stressed out. You're the one that's suffering because you're trying to help someone that doesn't want your help. Let them be. Let them fall on their face. Let them do whatever it is that's going to happen. But to protect your peace and focus on you again. Focus on you and focus on those people that really, truly want your help. I've made that mistake. I did that with the barbershop we used to own. We're in the process of selling it currently. I was trying to help the people there, and they disrespected me on a whole nother level. Then I had the biggest slap on my face, and I said, what is wrong with me, Lord? It's like, there's nothing wrong with me. They don't want your help. Stop trying to help them. Stop trying to force your help on them. They don't want it. I said, cool. I flipped that switch in one day, and I was like, I ain't helping them no more. Done. They've lost it. They don't get Angela Campbell help. But they didn't want it in the first place, right? You can't force that on people. It's a boundary set in place that you will be so incredibly drained by trying to help people that don't want your help. Or you will be so incredibly drained by saying yes to anything and everything and doing for everybody else because of your fear of saying no. Let me tell you real quick, you're going to hurt some people's feelings. You're going to disappoint some people when you say no. The first few times especially, and then they're eventually going to get to the point where they're like, okay, she is setting a standard, she's saying no, or they just won't ask you anymore, and then that's easier on you, right? Let's see, I'm going to read y'all's comments real quick before I move to the next piece. I'm working on it, but I do struggle with saying no. You're not the only one, Amber, 100%. Saying no is not an easy task in any form or fashion. Yeah, let's see. Good morning. I do a good job getting things done for me, but I run ragged. Doing things for everyone is not appreciated. I keep saying, yeah. Oh gosh, Tracy, I got her. Yeah, I love it. I love it. You're so right. I can see your comment here too. Finally, I can see comments. I do a good job at getting things done for me, and yes, you do. You're very consistent with taking care of you, but I run ragged to do things for others, and often it's not appreciated. I keep saying I need to match energy. Amen, amen, amen. We have to match that energy. We have to put our energy into places and people where we are appreciated, where we are needed, where we are wanted, and the things that serve us. And that is a huge boundary. Yes, saying no is a boundary. Number two, just putting things, putting your priorities first and letting other people do for themselves. Let me tell you real quick, the more you say yes to people, the more people will take advantage of you. I promise. Or on the other side of this, as a mom, one of the hardest lessons that we learn, I think as moms, or at least maybe not all of us, but is we want to do for our children instead of asking them to do the things. I just told my husband yesterday, he was out doing yard work, trimming trees and doing all the things. And the kids were inside playing. I said, what's wrong with this picture? Our kids are old enough. They need to be out here helping. They need to be out here picking up sticks. They need to be out here doing little things. Like, why are they inside? And so I went and got them and dragged their butts outside. Like, that's what we did as kids, right? Like, get away from TVs and stuff. Get outside. Soak up the sun. Help your dad. There's no reason in the world we shouldn't be out here. And I told him, like, ask them to do things. Ask them to do things more out here and help you. They're old enough now. They can. It's only going to help them, because if we don't do those things, you guys, we're also enabling people in our lives to expect us to do everything, to expect us to do things for them. And then we're the ones that are tired, drained, exhausted, and freaking frustrated. Right? You agree? Put agree in the comments. Right? So again, we have to set up the boundaries. We have to say no to people, but we also have to stop enabling people. I always joke about it when my husband and I got together. Like, he used to cook for me. And now it's like, I think he forgot how to cook. And I trace back and I'm like, I think I enabled him. I do it it's just, I don't know. It's part of my love language to him is to always cook and make sure that we're all fed and taken care of, right? But he could easily do it. But I've enabled him because I always do it. I've always done it since we got together, married and moved in together there, right? So now he's enabled. But on the flip side of that, you guys, he'll do it if I ask. He has zero problem doing it or making sure dinner's ready, or he loves to grill. That's his jam. But at the same time, you guys, we don't protect our energy and peace by doing things for everybody instead of asking them to do it for themselves. We enable a lot of those people. Let me tell you real quick, we don't help our children, especially in this example that I shared, by not making them do things for themselves. They are not going to be very self-productive. I don't know, that's not the word I'm looking for, but they're not going to be very good at doing it as adults if we don't let them do it as children, right? That's a hard lesson for me, because I love my mom, but she did so much for us and enabled us a little bit. And I see it now as I see a few of those traits in myself as a mom, and I'm like, I got to stop doing this. I did it with my son last year. Y'all know he's on the autism spectrum, so he's a little delayed in certain things, but he's a big boy, and he can put his own freaking clothes on, and his own shoes, his own socks, and all the things. And you just have to show them the way. And self-sufficient. Thank you, Mary Suzanne. I was like, what is that word? I can't spit it out. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all, we have to let our kids do more. We have to. It may not be done, y'all. And that now this goes to another boundary. Some of us are control freaks and perfectionists, and we want to do it all because we know that other people are not going to do it like us. But again, when we are trying to be perfect and we're trying to do it all ourselves and not ask for help and do all the things that we're talking about today, we are the stressed out, worn out messes that are so exhausted, a little bit irritable, and not showing up in the way that we want to for the people that we love the most. We do it to ourselves. I know many of us have family and spouses and people in our lives that would do so much for us. We just have to get out of our own freaking way and let them, right? So protect your peace, but those boundaries are so incredibly important. I always talk about the all or nothing personality because that's a lot of us. We've got to let that go. Protect our peace and energy is also letting go of the all or nothing personality. We do not need it. Some of y'all are literally, today is day 1 of y'all's 6-week program. Some of y'all are in week 2. Like, we're all in different walks of life and different levels of our program. But some of y'all, today is day 1. Do not expect yourself to be perfect right out of the gate and check off every box and do everything that I have laid out for you. Give yourself permission to do it at your pace, your race. My favorite thing in the world is your pace, your race. You've got to understand you are on a journey comparing yourself to you of yesterday, you of last week, you of last month, you of last year. You're not comparing yourself to each other in this group. Y'all are all walks of life you're all coming into a program from different walks of life, from different struggles, different health issues, different things going on in your world that really forces you to compare yourself to yourself of the past, not to the next person in here that's posting their picture and different things. We have to stop the comparitis. And then the other piece of this too, protecting your energy, is also like, we have to accept where we are at in our life. We have to know that God has a plan and we're right on time. He's always right on time. We are exactly where we're meant to be right now in the moment. There's always a purpose for every little challenge, every little season we walk through, every struggle we walk through, anything that we walk through in our lives is it's for a purpose. And as sucky as it may be sometimes when you're working really hard and you're not getting results, or you're just walking and maybe you're not, for some reason there's a mental block and getting is going on in your life, we have to learn to also accept a season we're in. Some of y'all are in seasons with smaller kids where time alone is incredibly rare. Like, my house is so incredibly quiet right now, and it's weird after I hop off talking to y'all. It's like, it is weird because my kids are young. Now they're at school, and my husband's at the fire station, so it's me and the dogs. Me and the dogs and y'all. And I love that because it's rare, and it is very relaxing. But some of y'all are in seasons where the kids are completely grown and out there, they have their own kids. Some of y'all are in seasons in your health journey where you need to give yourself grace. You need to give this process enough time to actually heal your metabolism. Stop trying to be in such a freaking hurry to get to your goal. Y'all, this is a lifelong journey. We don't teach you just to hit macros for 6 weeks, and when that 6 weeks ends, you stop. You go right back to where you started. That is not the type of coaching that we offer. Even if you don't coach with us anymore after your 6 weeks, your goal is to continue the journey that you were on with us during the 6 weeks. Why? Because it's a lifelong journey. Put lifelong journey in the comments. It's important for you to understand that. Some of y'all, your 6-week program, whichever level of coaching that you do, because we all do different things, right? One-on-one or group coaching or whatever. Some of you are in a season of like, I just need to rebuild a routine. My season is I need to rebuild. I need to fuel my body. I need to increase my food. I need to let my metabolism and my body heal. I need to let my mind heal and stop being in such a freaking hurry to change everything. You can't change everything overnight. 6 weeks is not going to erase 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of neglecting ourselves and our body. It's not. It's going to be a really great jump start. It's going to help you set some foundation as long as you show up. You have to show up though, right? You have to continue to show up. Some of y'all are in a season of like straight up hormonal imbalances, menopause, post-menopause, premenopause, perimenopause, all of the things that are going on in your body. Things are different. Things are different now than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Your season of life of super busy, or some of y'all have a lot of limitations, whether it's physical limitations of injuries and different things. Some of y'all have different limitations when it comes to food because you have a lot of sensitivities and things you're trying to pinpoint and work through. So certain foods, like struggle is real trying to eat. So just don't be in a rush. Have patience. Because again, we're in a rush to get everywhere and we want to hurry up and lose this 50 pounds. And you don't get there in the time that you put on yourself to get there. You're not protecting your peace and your energy that we're talking about today because you're stressing yourself out to try to get there. You're obsessing over the number. And then when you don't get there, you're beating yourself up and you're taking the path down that dark hole that people get stuck in. And then that's the hole that leads you to the quick fix that just sets you backwards 10 years, not 10 days. Can set you back so much further than that. So don't do it, right? You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do it in a hurry. If you want to have momentum and keep going, you've got to get really good at the small things first and build upon that and be okay with it, right? Slow and steady always wins the race. Yes, Suzanne, for sure. Yeah, Audrey, thank you for sharing your comment. I'm just reading it for sure. Being on the opposite side of always needing help and being, makes it difficult to ask 100%. Yeah. So start small, build consistency, and let the momentum grow instead of burning yourself out, doing it all by yourself, not saying no, not protecting your peace. You guys, we work too freaking hard to create our energy and our routines and our habits to let anybody else, and I mean this with all my heart in the most loving way possible, even our spouses and our kids do not have They don't have the authority to take us off of our path and put us back on the back burner anymore unless we allow it. Now if there's trauma and there's things that happen, the kids get sick, like that's where we pivot. We just don't pause. Okay? But even our most important people in our entire life, which is usually our immediate family, our spouses and our children, they still should not steer you off your path. It is okay to say no to them, and it's okay to prioritize you. It's actually a must, because the more you keep putting yourself on the back burner, guess what? We bleed out negativity on our family, and things will never change. It's up to you, because they can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. I can give you the plan, the support, and all the beautiful things that go along with it. You got to show up. So the last thing I'll ask you is this. Commit to the journey, and put that in the comments. But I am committed. Commit to the journey. And I don't just mean the 6-week journey that you're on here with us. Whether you coach after your 6 weeks or not, I don't care. I want you to fully commit to the journey. And I promise it's not going to be easy, but it will be so incredibly worth it. And you'll look back in the future excited that you did it. All right. That is all I got. So if you haven't gone and created your energy with your workout and your food choices today, let's go create some freaking energy. But most importantly, protect it. So again, I'm going to go back to that one challenge that I did say earlier. If you are one that says no, that has a hard time saying no, then I want you to think long and hard, and I want you to come in here this week or today, before you forget about it. I want you to come in here today and make a separate post and come in here and say, I am committed to saying no to, and then you fill in your blank, because we want to be able to support you. We want to hold you accountable, and then we want to hear about it after this week when you're saying no. It might be something that's an everyday, I got to say no to this. Every day my boss comes in, I know, I gave you a shout out I think it was last week. But about her, she set a boundary when she started work this year at her school and told her principal she is taking an uninterrupted break, and my lights will be out, the sign will be on the door, and there's nobody is going to interrupt me during that 30 minutes of me time, and for the first time. And that's huge. So I want to shout you out for that. That's what I mean. If there's something every day that you need to be better at saying no to, I want to hear what it is. We want to hear what it is, because we want to cheer you on. Maybe it's just one thing that somebody keeps nudging you. Will you do this? Will you do this? And you don't want to, but you haven't said no yet out of fear. Then say no to the one thing, but tell us what it is. Yes, Gala, I love it. I'm committed to saying no to working extra hours at work. Yes, amen to that. Let's do it. So we want to hear about it. We want to hear about your journey and how many times you had to say no to that this week. Be okay with it. You know, because a lot of times, I'm glad that you said that, Gala, because a lot of times, some of us, I have a bad habit of this. If I have a new client that needs to see me at the gym, I have a very limited schedule. I'm not taking on very many because I have a lot more other things to do than always be at the gym, although I love it. I've set a boundary, and I'm not doing any days extra than what I already committed to, no matter how bad they want it. But a lot of times we're really good at saying yes, especially if it's work, because in our minds, like, heck yeah, I could use the money. I could use the money. I could use the money. But God never intended us to burn ourselves out just to make money. Y'all, we can always make more money. I've been the brokest ever at negative bank accounts and the biggest abundance flowing bank accounts. I would take my peace and my energy in the negative bank account all day long over the opposite with the abundance flowing bank account. God always shows up on time. You can always make more money. He always provides, and it's not worth it. Same for those of us that are growing online businesses. So it's not worth it. All right, I'll stop there. Love y'all. Have an amazing day. If anybody needs to talk through anything extra, please, let's do it. Y'all have a great one.